Hello everybody, it's me, OC Busman. Well, a couple months ago we had just gone through another schedule change in August, but now it's October and this is where we usually have a regularly scheduled schedule change. So here we go again. Just when we thought we were getting underway with the August bid, once again we're having some more changes. So yeah, here's my usual video that I do for my apologies if I stutter along the way in this recording, but I'm gonna be doing an overview of the changes that are coming this coming Sunday, October 10th, 2021, for OCTA. As you can see here, we have a picture of the bus book that's available online. Once again, they're not uh, printing out any physical books just yet, so if you want to look at the schedule, you have to do it online. And the last couple of editions of these videos I've actually had to do it quietly since I would film it in the middle of the night. But this time, since I'm back at school, I can speak a little bit louder. And in addition, I also have a special guest with me. You may have seen some of his videos already on my channel of most recently 7509 on Route 150A. So without further ado, let me present to you my friend Alex.
It's good to be here. Yeah, as you can see, we're going to be going over the October 2021 service changes. And compared to last time, there aren't that many, but it's mostly schedule related. And there's also however, there are some more special promos that are going on, which we will go on during the presentation. And yeah, without further ado, I'll be handing it back over to OC Bus Fan.
And we'll be handing it back to Alex time to time for if there's any commentary he'd like to add, we'll be doing that here. But without further ado, let's get started. So as you just heard from Alex, here are some of the key highlights happening in this upcoming service change. And unlike last time, you'll see here I've taken some elements from the OCTA website, namely those colorful leaves you're seeing right there, and added it to my slide so that we'll have bigger numbers, but rather than just having the plain text from last time or bullet points that you saw. So you can see, so last time we had over 200 trips or so added, but this time we'll have about 100 trips added to some of the more popular routes. And those routes are being the 25, 26, 30, 33, 35, 43, 46, 47, 54, 55, 57, 59, 60, 66, 71, 79, 82, 83, 89, 91, 129, 143, and 153. In addition, there's also going to be 10 routes that have improved frequency. Those of which will be the 30, 35, 59, 60, 72, 76, 83, 86, 89, 91. And then there'll also be 21 routes with expanded hours. You'll see what routes those will be in the upcoming slides. And I also didn't put it here, but once again, there are still many routes that are still will be suspended, and those routes are going to be the 53X, 57 Express, and the 64 Express. And then we also have some of the OC Express routes, those being the 206 and 213. And then the 1 Bravo route is still suspended, which is the 529. And unfortunately, the Commuter Express buses are also still suspended, namely the 701 and 721 to downtown LA, and the 794, which goes between South Coast Metro and Riverside. And then we also have 2 iShuttle routes that are still suspended, which are the 402C and the 404E, which I believe they both serve Irvine Station. Now, without further ado, let's get to the list of changes. So as you'll see, unlike the last video, which I had individual pages for each route that's changing, this time I decided to condense everything into one table so I can get through everything faster while you're able to see multiple changes at once. And also, if you look at the note towards the top, unless otherwise noted, all of these changes are for weekdays, although there are some routes that will also have some changes for their weekend schedules as well. I'll explain more about those in later on as we go. First of all, let's start with 25. So the 25 saw some minor changes last bid with some early morning trips added. But in this bid, we're going to be seeing 3 northbound and 2 southbound trips being added. And there'll be a pair of trips added in during the 5 a.m. hours, so the 25 will now start operating around 5 a.m. And then there's also going to be more evening trips added, so the last buses would be departing around 8:15 for the southbound and 8:45 for northbound. Whereas previously the last northbound bus would leave around 6:30 or so. So anyone who wants to spend more time in Huntington Beach, he can do so now, as you'll have a later bus to go back home to. Next up is the 26. So a couple of trips on the 26 will be adjusted. It's mainly for the new Metrolink schedule that will be happening also on October 10th, which is the same day that this new schedule goes into effect. And there's also going to be one eastbound trip added. And also keep in mind a lot of these descriptions are copied directly from OCTA's website, although some of them might not be correct, because I looked at the timetable for the 26, and I think the amount of trips are about the same. Although I'm not sure if the new trip is a tripper or if it's the whole route, because I have the schedule on my laptop as they're speaking. Don't see any major differences. But yeah, but other than that, the time adjustments are for the Metrolink trains. Next up is the 30. So the 30 will also have several trips added, with expanded hours now starting at around 5:50 a.m. for the first buses, and then the last trip would be around 8:19 p.m. in the evening. And then the frequency will also be improved from every 60 minutes to being every 45 minutes. Next up is the 33. And the 33 will have a couple more trips added as well, with the northbound trips now starting around 5:38 a.m. and southbound trips now starting around 5:32. Currently, with the Saturday schedule, the first trip would be around 7:30 a.m. or so, while the first northbound wouldn't be until 8:40 a.m. or so. So, morning commuters will finally be able to use excuse me, 33 again to get the Fullerton Park and ride to make their connections. And the next up is the 35, which we'll see its frequency increasing from 45 minutes as it is during the Saturday schedule to 40 minutes, which, believe it or not, is the frequency that it was before COVID. So the 35 will have its pre-pandemic frequency restored with trips every 40 minutes, and it'll also have expanded hours, northbound from 4:36 a.m. to 8:23 p.m. and southbound from 5:13 to 8:29 p.m. So, and even though the pre-pandemic frequency of 40 minutes has been restored, it still doesn't have its short line trips that it had before COVID, Because if I remember, the 35 used to have a 20-minute frequency during peak hours, with a short line that ended at around Brookhurst and Talbot. So we haven't gotten to that point yet, but at least the 40-minute pre-pandemic frequency is back. If anyone remembers, a lot of routes had their pre-pandemic frequency restored. And the next up will be the 43. And the next couple of routes I'll be talking about, their schedule hasn't been changed from last time, but a couple of school trippers will be added. So in this case, for the 43, a northbound 2:51 p.m. trip for Los Amigos High School has been added. And it's worth noting that this trip will be a little different than the rest of the trips that are on the 43. So this particular tripper will be traveling from Harbor and MacArthur, which is also the starting point for the 543, and it will be ending at the Fullerton Transportation Center at around 3:59 p.m. So if we would look at the bus book, there'll be an S marked right next to it. And then that's where the tripper would be starting. So that's 43. And then the next set of changes would be 46. So for the 46, there's not a lot of changes here, but they added one eastbound and two westbound trips with the route now starting at around 5 a.m. Yeah, the first eastbound trip would be around 5:21 a.m. instead of 6:32 a.m. And then the first westbound trip would be around 5 a.m. instead of 7 a.m. as it is currently. And then the next route would be the 47. So just like the 43, the 47 will have some trippers added for Godinez High School. So there will be two northbound trips departing at 3:06 p.m. and 3:20 p.m. starting from Fairview and Arlington. So that's just outside of Costa Mesa High School. And then they would only travel all the way to Fairview and Westminster, where those trippers would end. And if I'm correct, these are the same trippers that operated before COVID. And then there are also two southbound trippers in the mornings. So the two southbound trippers would be at so for Tuesday to Friday, they would be at 7:07 a.m. and at 7:40 a.m. starting from Fairview and Westminster, and they would be ending at Fairview and Arlington. So it would be the opposite of what the afternoon trippers would be. And then there's also a Monday tripper that would start around 8:40 a.m. for Godinez High School. So those are the changes happening to 47. Otherwise, the frequency is still 20 minutes for that route. Next is the 54, the 54 will have 3 trippers being added. So there will be an eastbound trip at 4:57 p.m. Starting from Harbor Boulevard and Chapman Avenue, and that'll be connecting the Metrolink train 604. And then they also added 2 westbound trippers starting at Orange Transit Center and going to Harbor Boulevard, and those will be at 6:54 a.m. for Metrolink train 605 and 7:50 a.m. for to connect with Metrolink train 809. So, because if I remember before COVID, there used to be a westbound tripper departing around 7:10 a.m. if I'm correct. But I remember there used to be a westbound trip on 54, so those are back for this bit of another trip at 7:50 a.m. And it's also worth noting that the 3 trippers that were already there will still be in place, so there'll be a total of 4 eastbound trippers on the 54 between the hours of 3 and 5 p.m. Otherwise, the frequency will continue to be 30 minutes on 54. And then the next route is 55. And just like the past couple routes, they're only adding one northbound trip. Mondays at 1:52 p.m. and 1:42 p.m. on Tuesdays and Fridays for Newport Harbor High School. And then next up is the 57, which will have a 1 p.m. Wednesday, or the lettering is kind of confusing, but they added the southbound 4:36 p.m. No, 2:36 p.m. trip for Medina's intermediate school. And then next up is one of the biggest changes of this bid would be the 59, which for the first time in about a year and a half will be going back to UC Irvine. And the frequency will also be improved from 55 minutes as it is now to 40 minutes during peak hours and 60 minutes for the midday hours. And also as a result, during the weekday there won't be any trips going to the district at Tustin Legacy. So only weekend trips will continue to end at the district in Tustin. And then they'll also have expanded hours northbound from 4:45 a.m. to 10:07 p.m. and southbound from 5:36 to 9:36 p.m. So that's a total of 6 northbound and 4 southbound trips being added to 59. And then for the 60, there will be an eastbound trip, and that'll be 2:47 p.m. on Mondays and 1:42 p.m. Tuesday to Friday for Westminster and Bolsey Grande High Schools. And then for the 66, there will be an eastbound trip at 2:44 p.m. and a westbound trip at 3:40 for La Quinta High School. And I believe this is the first time I've seen trippers added for the 66 in my history of documenting all these schedules. And then for the 71, there will be a northbound 8:56 p.m. trip and 2 southbound trips added at 5:30 a.m. and 9:21 p.m. And then for the 79, they'll have expanded hours northbound from 5:58 p.m. to 9:42 p.m. and southbound from 5:26 p.m. to 5:26 a.m. to 9:12 p.m. With the addition of 2 northbound and 1 southbound trips. And it's also worth noting that the 79 will also have extra evening trips on weekends as well. So you'll have a 9 p.m. trip departing from Lurwin Square and a 9 p.m. trip departing from Newport Transportation Center. Previously, the last trip used to be around 8 p.m., so there'll be a later option for that route. And then next up is the 82. The 82 is a weekday only route, but they're adding 1 eastbound trip for Trabuco High School, being at 1:12 p.m. on Mondays and 3:23 p.m. on Tuesday to Friday. And then for the 83, there'll be a 4:57 p.m. southbound trip for OC School of Arts, or OSHA, as they pronounce it. And here are the last 4 routes that are having changes. So 89, similar to 59, will also have a change in frequency. It'll be improved to 50 minutes. Okay, I think it's 50 minutes during the day and 45 minutes, or 40 minutes, and actually 35 minutes during peak hours. And they'll have expanded hours from 5:30 a.m. to 8:41 p.m. northbound and 5:05 p.m. to 8:52 p.m. southbound. And it'll also have expanded hours northbound as well, with the addition of 5:47 a.m. northbound trip on weekends. And then for the 129, there'll be an additional westbound trip added at around 5:57 a.m. in the morning. And that's in addition to the extra eastbound trip that was added last bid, still being there. And then for the 143, it'll also have expanded hours in both directions, uh, roughly starting around the same time from 5:09 a.m. to 9:24. Um, and it'll also have 3 eastbound and 2 westbound trips being added. And then for the 153, which will be the last route to see changes, they added the 1 northbound trip in the evening, 8 p.m., and they also added the 1 southbound trip heading northbound at 6 a.m. Because previously the 153, basically the first trip would start at Bria Mall at 6 a.m., but the first northbound trip wouldn't start until 7 a.m. from Arctic, so these changes pretty much balance the schedule out, so it'll have the same run time in both directions from 6 a.m. to 8 p.m. And with that, these are all the changes that are happening this bid. If you guys want to see any of the changes I just talked about, you can just go back to whatever part it is in the video and you can see it again. And there's still some promotions happening going on. So as of last month in September, OCTA has just started this pilot program where children ages 18 and young children who are under 18 are able to ride OC Bus for free, and I'll talk to you more about that program in just a second. And I also want to talk about the 40% savings that you'll get when you get the Welcome Pass, which is available either as 5 packs of 1-day passes or a 30-day pass, which is about $40 or so. And you're gonna buy them either at the OCTA store or in the OC Bus app. And here's some more information about the free bus rides for kids 18 and under. So this is the pass right here that's available for them. It's called the Youth Ride Free Pass, and it started as of last month in September. It's gonna be valid until February 28th of 2022. And if you want to get this free pass, parents would have to either request and fill out a form, and they can do that via the OCTA website or at a participating K-12 school, which would be handing out those forms from their office. But I think the OCTA website might be the easiest route. So basically, the parents would have to fill out that form, and then OCTA would send the passes to them via mail. And then once they get them, your kids should start using it to go just anywhere around Orange County. And with that, would you like to add any remarks or anything about these changes? Here's Alex.
I've noticed the for the 60 tripper, I'm not sure why they decided to do 247 only on Mondays, but I'm guessing what I'm thinking is that they want the tripper to be right there when Bolsa Grande comes out, and then on Monday for Tuesdays to Fridays, and then for Westminster, obviously, like, I believe they get out around like 2:30 ish, 2:39 ish, based on my experience, and that's why they put their tripper there on Monday. But we'll see what happens. As like, for this bid so far, I've seen that the tripper only starts at Beach Boulevard and starts the whole route going eastbound to Larwin Square.
Mm-hmm.
So realistically, it would really be helping out the Bolsa Grande kids, whereas the regular would get the Westminster kids. So it's gonna be an interesting thing to see, but we'll see how this works out. So, yeah, and with that, that's all I have to say mostly about that. And yeah, I'll be handing it over back to OC Bus Fan.
Thank you, Alex. And yeah, and with that, folks, we've come to the end of our presentation. So hopefully you've enjoyed this video. And again, if you want to look at more about these changes, you can go to OCTA's website, ocbus.com. And or just look at the and you can look at the bus book there. You'll be able to see those changes I just talked about, and
Any questions?
and yeah, any more questions you might have, and also if you want to buy your welcome pass there as well. If you want to learn more about that. And with that, it's OC Bus Fan, and on behalf of my friend Alex, um, hope you stay safe when you're riding OC Bus, because you still have to have your mask on. And anyway, I hope you have a nice rest of your week, and just a reminder, October 10th is when this new schedule starts. So happy riding.